Hey everyone, this is Audra Owens. Today on our podcast, we had Julie Wentz, who is the Vice President of Real-Time Senior Living, which is a new app that helps connect families to assisted living facilities and care homes. And with that, let's hear what they're all about.
Okay, so let's start. I've got some of your background here.
Okay.
And it seems that you've done quite a bit. I do notice that there is a theme of being involved with people, brands, business development. Visionary was one of the words that I had written down. Just give me a quick background on what brought you to where you're at, your position here as currently the VP of Business Enhancement at Real-Time Senior Living.
So I moved to Arizona about 3 years ago. I lived in Oregon for about 23 years. And I worked for a large CCRC Mennonite village up there. And that really brought me into the place of really wanting to work with seniors. I had taken care of my mom's cousin for about 3 years also. She was 90. She was with us for about 3 years and she had dementia. So she was living alone. So having that one-on-one relationship with taking care of someone really kind of started putting me in that direction. I had a lot of other backgrounds. So I ran a Target store, Goodwill store. So a lot of different things, had my own event business. So a lot of entrepreneurial pieces, but a lot of management, people management, and then brand development. So that kind of led me into the senior living. And then when I moved down here to Arizona for sunshine, because I was tired of the gray and dreary in Arizona, I started kind of looking around and I ended up dealing with 2 recruiters at Brookdale. So I started working for Brookdale. I had 2 communities that I was marketing for, memory care and an assisted living, which was great because depending on what the people needed, I could lead them either direction. And then they pulled me out of that and had me start doing the business development for Arizona. So at that point, we had about 27 communities. And what was interesting, how this kind of tied in was I would have referral agents calling me all the time. What's open here? What's open here? They text me, they call me. And I had access to Sims, our intranet. But if a business office manager or the marketer hadn't put that room in as sold, I really didn't have accurate information of what was truly available. And I thought, why don't we have something that actually has all this information together? So I called my daughter's boyfriend at the time, who was a developer in Nashville. And I said, can we create an app for Brookdale that has, at that point, all 1,450 communities, has the availability, all that kind of stuff? And he's like, yeah, we do this. So I pitched that to Brookdale. So that was about 2.5 years ago going, we need to do something like this. So 2IT, Andy Smith, West Coast Regional VP, and they're like, well, we're going to do it down the road. It was that month that Steve reached out to me and said, I'm working on something. I want your feedback. So when we met, and he told me what he was doing with Real-Time, I was just ecstatic because I thought, oh my gosh, somebody's doing it. This is awesome. So just knowing the potential, knowing the industry needed it, knowing we needed those direct connections for people, and everything's always been one way, waiting for referral agents to bring someone into a home, whether it's a discharge, whether it's a client, a patient, whatever, but opening it up so more people could see what was available. So that was kind of how I came to this point. So I was at Brookdale for about 2.5 years. I did that. I worked in the hospice division for a while. I was helping them. And then I just decided to give notice and just kind of put it out there and reached out to Steve going, hey, I'm starting to look. Just keep your ears open for me. And he's like, I want to talk to you. So that was a year ago, March, that this all came into play.
So you gave your notice before you had that conversation with Steve?
Oh yeah, I didn't have anything lined up. Wow. I just gave it to God. It's like, all right, you're in charge. Wherever I'm going, you're going to lead me. So let's just see what happens.
And your thought was, with a Brookdale type system, was just to simplify gathering that information from their facilities across the nation and making it accessible to people like you who are in the, I don't know if you were director of marketing or business development at that time, but basically making it more accessible just internally. Just internally,
right. So if we had something where all the information was, because the referral agents would reach out all the time to me, what's open here, what's open here. well, why don't we have this information accessible to everybody? Why isn't it there? Why wouldn't you want to have something that gets the information faster, that they could find quicker? Because a normal referral agent is going to spend 6 hours to maybe 3 days calling every home and community. Do you have anything open? If that first question isn't answered off the bat, like, do you have anything open? If it's a no, then the rest of the questions don't matter. You're going to keep going until you find an opening. Then, is the price right? Then, are the care needs there? Can you take care of the person? What kind of room's open? So if all those questions aren't answered, all that time that it takes to get that done, real time takes that entire piece out. So what would have taken them 6 hours to 3 days is now seconds. So why wouldn't you want to try and expedite the process for everybody and create more visibility in the homes?
When you were with Brookdale, did you have access to the information?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but you just want an easier way to get it to other people without having to answer the phone and disseminate that to them, right?
Well, access was the internet, but if a room had been sold, but the business office coordinator and manager hadn't put it in the system yet, it wasn't true information. So even if I thought there was something open down in Broadway Mesa, it may not be. So there wasn't real data of what was open at any given time.
Okay. When Steve says, hey, Julie, I've got this idea, what did he pitch at that time? What was the idea?
So he was telling me that he had created the app and it was going to be live data of availability. And it was just, literally peel me off the ceiling. I'm so excited because I knew the potential of how this was going to help people. And really the whole goal came from, how do we get more eyes on the availability? And even so, Steve's background was years with Wells Fargo. So where you take a picture of a check and deposit it? That was him and his team. So all that simple technology that Wells Fargo has and banks have, that came from him and his team. So for a period of time, he was also a referral agent. And years ago, he was trying to find a place for his folks. So even if you're in the industry and he was getting frustrated, well, why is this so difficult? Why can't we find what's open? Why can't we see what's actually available out there? And I guess his wife, Katie, said, you're a smart guy, figure it out. Well, he did. So he'd been working on this for a while, getting ready for it to launch. And when we met up and he asked for my feedback, I'm just like, there are so many things and ways this is going to help people. Just so many ways. And even the things that we're doing in the future that are coming. We'd even talked about back then how many things that we can add to the platform that'll end up helping people.
I know how you developed it. Now, can you take just a few minutes or as much time as you need, and let's go back to the app. And we're talking about the real-time senior living search app, the orange one. If, say, I've got a parent, a grandparent, someone that needs assistance, what is the best way to explain the app to that individual and how to use it, what it can be used for at this point?
Well, and there's two pieces to that. So there's the facility app, which is a separate one that the homes and the communities upload their available information. That's the platform where the information is kept. The search app and that facility app is the green logo, the green and blue logo. The search app is one with the little magnifying glass, the orange one. That's the one that literally mimics the information or mirrors the information that's in the facility. So if someone wants to search, the first way that people search is they're looking for an area that they want to live. Whether family's there, whether their home's been there, whether their friends are there, the first place they're going to look is an area. So say it's Phoenix, say it's Scottsdale, say it's Peoria. Where are they looking? The next thing is, what is their price point going to be? Because people are not going to go looking for something if it's out of their price range. There's always some starting price point that someone can afford. You're not going to look for a $6,000 room if you only have $3,000. So that's part of the search piece. And then what are the care needs that we need for that resident that's going to be coming in? Usually and then the type of room is the last piece of the search. So it's weighted that way. But a lot of times it'll be some trigger event that puts folks in the hospital and they may not be able to go home. So then it's a matter of, okay, now where are they going to go? So what's always happened in the past is somehow they've gotten in touch with maybe a fiduciary or an elder law attorney or a referral agent that now has to start that process of trying to find a place for these folks to go. So therein lies days of calling, taking the family out. What does that look like? So this quicker search not only helps the family with finding the best fit, it's expediting the processes out of the hospitals and the rehabs, because instead of waiting for someone to find a place to go, they literally can do that search for the family and in seconds have choices, be able to print it out, hand it to the family, give it to them, say, hey, these are open right now. Go ahead and check it out. A good example is I have a friend who works for a hospice, and their protocol is the marketers back at the office making those 20, 30 phone calls, trying to find a place to go. Social workers in the hospital with the family. My friend pulls out her phone, does the search for the family, and in seconds has options. Well, these are open. Go check them out. That's saving the hospital time. That's creating more goodwill for the hospital because now they have more choices. But I think one of the things I love the most is it's empowering families with the best fit for their loved one or themselves, because there's a lot of care homes out there just in the area and in each of the states, but no one knows they exist. So when I talk to a care home owner, I'll say, do you have a vacancy sign outside? Not only is there not a vacancy sign, you don't have a sign out here. So most of the communities have at least signs, but no one knows what's available in any given time in any of the places. So this now opens it up to all the care homes in that area for that family member to go find the best fit. We've narrowed your search. We can connect you through the phone. We've got driving directions to get you there. Give them a call, go check them out. But it really empowers that family for more choices, because odds are that may be the last place that person's going to live. It needs to be the best fit for that person. Let them decide where they want to go. So it's empowering the families with more choices, but it's also opening it up to huge visibility for the homes.
Are you targeting the rehab centers, the doctors, the hospitals, not necessarily the families?
Everybody.
Everybody. If you're printing it off and handing it to them, it could be after rehab, after surgery. Here's some options,
right,
kind of thing? Okay.
Right. So it's everybody. So we know the referral agents aren't even who we target to share it with, because they know where the homes are. We know that they're using it. It totally helps them expedite their processes. But we go after, because the referral agents don't have enough people to actually fill all the empty beds out there. They have a set number of clients. So we go after everybody else that could potentially need to help someone find a place to go. So discharge planners, rehabs. I talk to real estate agents all the time, home health, hospice, doctor's offices. So having that information out to that group, now they can search and find a place for them to go. So it empowers everybody. And then we have some collateral that's in the works that will be going out to doctor's offices. It's already going into elder law attorneys' offices, fiduciaries. So they have access when they're dealing with their clients or just the general public. They can pick it up, download this free search app, which is anonymous and free. We're not tracking anybody's searches, but it allows them to go look themselves. So they can look online themselves, or they can look on the app themselves. And it's super simple.
Oh, and I didn't even realize that, but you have access through your website to the same data. So they can do like a search through the site.
Same thing.
They can download the app and do it on their phone when they're out and about.
Yeah,
Okay.
Same thing. And the only thing that's different with the app, you're going to pop up because it's a smaller screen. There's the first screen of where do they want to live, then their price, then the care needs in the room. Well, on the computer screen, it's one screen. So when I go out and talk to case managers and discharge planners, I'll show them on their desktop because they're on their computer all the time. It's one screen. They click all of the buttons and search, and they can literally print it out from there, but it's all one screen. So anyone can search at any time, whether they're at their desktop or on their phone.
So you mentioned some of the search criteria. So as a facility, when they're registering, they put in their availability, what type of bedroom they have, what needs. I noticed there's a long list of illness, or whether it's catheters or mobile, not mobile, wheelchairs, bariatric, like everything. And they put what services they can provide.
Right.
They kind of specify exactly everything that they offer.
Right. And it's important that they do exactly what they say that they do. So they download the app, and we have access to the state database. So when they put in their name or their license number, we can just pull it up. Their name is attached, their license number is attached, and their address is attached. And then after that, it goes into the care needs. Well, what care do you provide at this facility? Then, what beds do you have open and what are the prices? So it's literally once it's downloaded, it can be like a 5-minute process. It's super simple. So when people are searching, it just mirrors what that care home or community has put in.
So as long as the care